UFC 311 has just taken place, and this is my immediate reaction. So from the early prelims all the way up to the main event, there were 6 finishes on this card. Let's start off with the main event. We have got Islam Makhachev versus Money Moicano. Look, I'm going to be honest. Everybody had predicted Islam to win. I mean, I don't think anybody was really confident in a Moicano pick. I think people were saying Moicano was going to win just because they preferred Moicano. Although, I'm not going to lie, after seeing what happened in the co-main event, I kind of thought there was something. I thought there was something in the air. Moicano looked bigger than Islam in there when the fight started. I didn't expect that. And on the feet, Moicano was having some success in there with Islam Makhachev. At one point, I thought he actually dropped Islam Makhachev, but it turned out to be a slip, apparently. That's what commentary said. I didn't really get to see it back, so I'm going to count it as a Moicano knockdown just because... fuck Islam Makhachev. But yeah, Islam Makhachev just showed levels in there. This guy's top 5 all time in my opinion. Easily the greatest UFC lightweight of all time. No one compares. Not Khabib, not Charles Oliveira. This guy is clearly the best. In my opinion, top 5 all time. There's definitely an argument to be had there. Like, this guy's signature move is the doors choke. As soon as I seen him even get close to that position on Moicano, I just knew it was over. I really did. I knew it was over. Obviously not a good look for Moicano. You would have wanted a bit more from him. But, yeah, I mean, what do you expect? The guy was meant to fight Beneil Dariush, and on 24 hours notice, maybe even less, he got the call up to fight the pound for pound number 1 in the entirety of the sport of MMA. He didn't get... It's not as bad as what people are making it out to be. Yes, he did get subbed in the first round, which is kind of... bruh. But he looked somewhat okay on the feet. For how long it lasted, I am really coping here, just trying to take positives. I think Moicano will be back. Don't know if he'll ever fight for the title again, to be honest, but I do feel like this guy is in around the 6 to 4 maybe range in the lightweight division. I'm just trying to think of who's in what position and who's fighting who and who's retiring who and shit like that. But yeah, Islam Makhachev, what's next for him is Arman Tsarukyan, in my opinion. I know Dana White had his things to say about it. That will be in Tuesday's video. I'm going to be doing matchmaking everybody. Might do it tomorrow for tomorrow's video. I don't know, but that is a video that's going to be coming. We will talk more in depth about that. But yeah, Islam Makhachev, what a performance. Moving on to the co-main event. I could fucking cry. I dreamt for moments like this. Merab fucking saved the company last night. This guy single-handedly put the UFC on his back, saved the company from entire darkness. What this guy done last night, like, what a performance from Merab. I mean, everybody says the guy's shit and he's boring. This fight right here was a fun one to watch. Just quickly, John Anik saying rematch. Why the fuck would Umar get a rematch? The guy's the challenger that clearly lost the matchup. Yes, it was close. It was a competitive fight, but he clearly lost the fight. 3 rounds to 2, 4 rounds to 1, depending on how much of a Merab Glazer you are. But yeah, let's start talking about the matchup. Umar Nurmagomedov, my prediction for this was an Umar win. I thought he was going to submit Merab in the second round. Look, I thought his striking was just going to be too much for Merab in there. I thought he was going to do a good job of keeping Merab at range. And I genuinely thought Umar Nurmagomedov's grappling was just going to be way too advanced for Merab in there. Bruh. But I was completely wrong. I didn't understand Merab's game. I didn't understand this guy actually knows how to grapple. Because you see him field takedowns all the time. And I'm like, does this guy actually know how to fucking finish a single leg, double leg? I don't know. But yes, he does. Now, round 1 was very, very close in my opinion. I did give it to Umar Nurmagomedov. Round 2 was an Umar Nurmagomedov round pretty clearly. I'm pretty sure that's the round where he took down Merab, had Merab's back. I think he busted Merab up. It was either the first round or the second round. He hit Merab with a jab, I think it was. They kind of busted his nose, and you could see Merab was constantly at his nose, at his nose, at his nose. And then rounds 3, 4, and 5, Merab just broke him. I mean, at the end of round 2, it was clearly visible that Umar Nurmagomedov was gassing out a bit, to be honest. And that just isn't a good sign for Merab. I mean, this guy's forward pressure is crazy. You're not beating this guy by decision. Nobody's beating him. I think the best chance, like, the person who has the most chance of beating Merab, in my opinion, is Sean O'Malley. Purely based off the fact that Sean O'Malley hurt him in their last matchup and has the power to chin him. I don't think anybody else in this division can do this. But what a performance that was. Round 3, he starts to ramp it up with his pace. I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov, I thought he was actually a high-level kickboxer, and we kind of seen it through Islam Makhachev as well. These guys don't like boxing range at all. When Merab will close the distance and duck under and throw his overhand and start to essentially try and, do not really dirty boxing because they weren't clinching, but in boxing range, there wasn't really range for Umar to throw his kicks. He looked terrible in there, hands-wise, looked ass. Now, at range, he done a good job of landing his shots, especially with his kicks. Umar, as we all know for ages, has had really good kicks. But when it came into the boxing range, close quarters, Umar looked shit, and you even seen glimpses of it with Islam Makhachev, like hands down, just flailing their arms, like moving. They weren't defensively good in that position. Obviously, Islam Makhachev got away with it. Umar Nurmagomedov did not. Now, if Merab had any sort of KO power in his body, he would have stopped Umar Nurmagomedov in there. But yeah, round 3, like I said, great round. Round 4 was when he was constantly taking him down in there. Let's just look at the stats. So they landed 1 of 1 takedown. Is this fucking serious? Yo, is this winding me up? So you're trying to tell me they only took each other down once out of 1 takedown? Anyway, these stats are wrong. But yeah, Merab was doing a really good job of taking down Umar. Typical Merab fashion though, the guy can't hold anybody down, so Umar was able to get back up to his feet. That's just a testament to how good Umar Nurmagomedov's grappling is. There were a couple of close calls in terms of headbutts and stuff like that, because anytime Merab would go in, he would like duck as if he's going for a takedown, and Umar would just sprawl instantly. And there was a couple of times where they did clash heads. I think the rules were reversed one time where Umar went for a takedown, it looked like it, and Merab sprawled dead quick. This was a really high level matchup. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun fight. For once, Merab had a fun performance. But yeah, this guy, no one's beaten him in this division, I'm going to be honest. I don't think anybody's going to beat him. He is the greatest UFC bantamweight. He is the greatest bantamweight of all time. No one's even close. Aljamain Sterling, he was, but after this, it is Merab. It's clearly him. What a performance. Round 5 was a bit closer, but again, Merab just outworked him. And I think what also helps Merab, I know a lot of people say, oh, he's cringy with his posing, and not posing, but his gloating and the way he gets on. But I kind of feel like that kind of helps convince the judges to give him a round, because everybody's roaring, everybody's shouting, and he's just making his opponent look like a fucking idiot. Like when Umar was on his back and Merab's just standing like this and Umar can't take him down. Like that's just aura. This guy just oozes aura. Merab, what a performance. And the fact that the guy had a back injury during training, he had his shin injury as well. The UFC tried to fuck this guy over. Exactly what they did to Aljamain Sterling. But Merab prevailed. This is the end of the Dagestani era. The end of it. Merab is captain in the ship. Umar Nurmagomedov, he did break his hand. You did see proof of that after the fight. Funny, what I don't get is, like, anytime they do get an injury, it's as soon as the first round starts, they get an injury. He was still throwing his hands in there. I will be honest, I think Khabib Nurmagomedov is a great coach. Obviously one of the best minds in MMA. But he was telling Umar he needed to grapple, and then near the end of the fight, he's like, do not grapple, just strike with him. Kind of conflicting what he was saying there, but overall, Merab, he really showed why he is the champion. He showed Umar levels in there, especially rounds 3, 4, and 5. What a performance. This guy saved the UFC bantamweight division. What's next for him? I don't know. I'll have to have a think about that, but what a performance from Merab. Great performance. King. Moving on, we have got the feature fight. This is how legends are made. Jiří Procházka, Jamal Hill. What a fucking fight this was. Jiří Procházka getting the win. I predicted this. Well, I said he was going to KO him in the first round. He KO'd him in the third. Look, Jiří Procházka looked really improved in there. He is making a conscious effort to try and be more defensively sound. Is he perfect defensively? Absolutely not. Still a load of holes in his game. We've seen him get caught. Round 1, Jiří Procházka, I thought that was his best round, even though he finished Jamal Hill in the third. He done a good job in there of just staying out of range of Jamal Hill. Also, just quickly, was Jamal Hill injured? Why did he have both of his knees in a sleeve? And Jamal Hill just didn't look like Jamal Hill out there, but no excuses. Jiří Procházka did look good in there. There was a shot that Jiří Procházka was going for that was just money every time. And it was like, I don't know why I'm pretending I'm Jiří Procházka here, but he would like slip. He would like slip and then come up with like a left hook or like a shovel uppercut. It was an interesting shot, but it was landing constantly on Jamal Hill, and the different looks Yuri Prohaska was giving him. Yuri Prohaska is just so unorthodox. If you can't take this guy's legs out from beneath him, I think you are in trouble. And Jamal Hill isn't known for his leg kicks. Now, Jamal, round one, yeah, Yuri Prohaska caught him, put him down. He busted Jamal Hill up. It was clearly a Yuri Prohaska round. After the first round, it looked like Jamal Hill was really deflated, to be honest, after being on the canvas. But he came out in the second round, and that was his round. He was having a lot of success going to the body against Yuri Prohaska in there with the body shots that he was landing. But Yuri was doing a good job implementing the teep kicks in there. He was landing good front kicks to the body. Look, I'm going to be honest, Jamal Hill kind of looked fat in there as well. I don't know. Was he injured? Was it not a good camp? I don't know. I'm interested in seeing what he's saying. In round 3, Yuri Prohaska hurt him. And when you're hurt with Yuri Prohaska, it's only a matter of time before the guy puts you away. He is an absolute finisher of the highest degree. What a performance. I mean, people were writing him off, saying that he's going to get chinned by Jamal Hill early, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the funniest part was when he's on the mic and he's calling for the Pereira trilogy. He's like trying not to cry, calling for the Pereira trilogy. This guy's so based. But just quickly on Jamal Hill, I don't think this guy should be receiving any hate. Obviously, after what happened with the Alex Pereira matchup, he became the most hated fighter in MMA because the Pereira fan base is quite literally one of the fucking worst in the sport. And personally, I don't think he handled it that well. But again, looking back on it, he made himself a big name. He put himself in the headlines. But yeah, great fight. There's no hard feelings in losing to the number 1, number 2 guy in your division, a former champion. What I will say is, though, he did go on about the hate he received and people texting his daughter after he lost to Alex Pereira. If you do that, you are the biggest fucking loser on planet Earth. If you text this guy's daughter because he lost. That there, honestly, is the gayest shit I've ever heard. Jamal Hill will be back. Yuri Prohaska, what's next for him? Definitely not a matchup against Alex Pereira. Maybe winner of Jan Blachowicz, Carlos Ulberg. I know people are saying Khalil Roundtree, but it's like Khalil Roundtree should maybe fight Rakic next or something, because the guy's best win is still Anthony Smith. So are we going to pretend that this guy's like a world beater now because he had fucking 2 good rounds against an injured Alex Pereira? Grow up. What a performance from Yuri Prohaska. This is how legends are made. Right, so as you can see, multi-billion corporation UFC, their website doesn't work. We've got Almeida versus Spivak. I'm just moving down. I don't know why the fuck it's like that, but let's just talk about it. Almeida versus Spivak. Look, Spivak came in shape for this fight. He wasn't as fat as what he normally looks. And when he got on top of Almeida, I thought the fight was over. Because as soon as Almeida faces a bit of adversity, he kind of crumbles. And I thought Spivak was going to be able to do that. He came in better shape, got on top. Almeida, though, on the feet showed that he has hands. He hurt Spivak. Was able to get the back, finish him with ground and pound strikes. Not really much to say, really. Nothing else really happened. That makes him 8-1 in the UFC now. And he called out Ciryl Gane for a matchup. I think Gane beats him. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think Gane's takedown defense is anywhere near as bad as what people let it on to be. I think he beats Almeida. Like I said, if Almeida is faced with any adversity, which Gane will give him, because Gane is elite. For those who don't understand, Gane is still elite.
But what the hell, boy?
I think Gane would beat him. But yeah, overall, great performance from Almeida. Moving on to the main card opener, Kevin Holland, Renan de Ridder. Look, I'm going to be honest, I liked Kevin Holland. He is the second most annoying fighter in the UFC outside of Michael Chandler. The UFC need to send this guy to street beefs with Tony Ferguson. Because it's like, he said, like, when he's on with Demetrius Johnson, he's like, oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be the champion. Then you hear him, he doesn't care about the fight when he's on with Rampage. Like, literally what it is with Kevin Holland is, if you're going to grapple with him, the guy will just quit. That's exactly what he done in here against Renan de Ridder. He quit. Even on the feet, if he doesn't instantly have success on the feet against you, he will quit. He'll give up and just start girding. He is literally one of the biggest babies in the UFC outside of Chris Curtis. I don't know what's next for him, to be honest. I mean, he's not even a gatekeeper anymore in any division. I honestly think he should have stayed in the welterweight division. I thought he was best suited there. I don't know what's next for him. He didn't take any damage, so I'm sure we'll see him on like UFC 313 or 314 fighting another. I actually don't know what's next for him. I don't know who he fights. Renan de Ritter, though, good performance. Went in there, got the single leg, took him down. Looked at one point Kevin Holland might have been able to shake him off, but Renan de Ritter made the adjustments, got the back and subbed him in the very first round. He did call out for someone in the top 5. No. Maybe a Roman Delitzi, someone that's like from 15 to 10 or 15 to like the 9 range, maybe somewhere in between there. Go for someone there. Good performance from him. Moving on to the prelim headliner, the parlay killer Payton Talbott. What the fuck was that? Yo, get more wrestling sessions in with Frank Ocean, because what the fuck was that? What was that?
Huh?
I literally thought Payton Talbott was guaranteed money. He was like minus 1,200. I literally thought he was going to go in there and hit Ronnie Barcelos with the... And he gets out-grappled. He did have some success. Out-grappled and controlled. And like people said, this guy was like the next Sean O'Malley.
Bruh.
Like, come on. Come on. Yeah, not a good look for Payton Talbot. I don't really know what'll be next for him. Obviously, he's not done, like. He will still be in the UFC. Minor adjustments, obviously work on his grappling. It's probably better off for him long term that this has happened now, instead of him not working on his grappling the way he needs to, and then he gets to the top half and then everybody just exposes him for it. So at least it gives him time to work on it, and they can match him up accordingly now and get him more experience and shit like that. But yeah, what the fuck, like they literally butchered my parlay. Can't believe he got fraud checked. Or sorry, not that he got fraud checked. There's nothing wrong in losing. But I can't believe, well, there is something wrong in losing when you lose my fucking money. But I can't believe we had 2 major fraud checks on the same card. I cannot believe that. But yeah, the parlay killer. I don't know who you match him up with next. Zachary Reese got smoked. They are appealing back of the headshots apparently. Don't know what's going to happen there. You've got Guskov with the submission. I thought he was going to get a KO. Didn't think he was going to get the submission win. Grant Dawson got the win. I mean, not my favourite fighter. I thought Diego Ferreira was going to pull something out of the bag, but what he pulled out of the bag was a fucking loss. Moving on, women's MMA. Perez won. Decision. Are you surprised? Rinya Nakamura.
Huh?
I thought this guy was destined for greatness. I thought this guy was destined to fight for the bantamweight title. I mean, he still can, he's young, but yeah. Fuck! Not a good look for Rinya Nakamura. Really, really poor performance from him. Do you match him up against Payton Talbot next? 2 prospects. Who is going to be elite, who's not? Match them up, see what happens. I don't know, but overall UFC 311 was an awesome card. UFC 312 stinks of shit. Some big fight announcements which I will be making a video on straight after this, so make sure you stay around for that. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again in the next one.